This video is made for adult collectors because bro is green. Okay, I'm sorry.
I need an Optimus Prime, Optimus Prime, Optimus Prime, Optimus Prime. This one. And make it green.
Prime Beast Hunters was a very strange toy line, like very strange. And from it, we got a green Prime. Green, well, I don't know. But he's my favorite color and a very interesting, I use interesting in quotes, mold. And it was only like 20 bucks at my local shop, so I got it. I really enjoyed this mold, but it isn't without faults. A lot of fault, and the air conditioning just kicked in. That's fun. I didn't get the giant sword or the gun, just saying that now. I really like this specific Prime design, so I'm glad I got a giant toy of it, but it isn't the only thing that's giant. His backpack is, it's insane. That's a lot of truck just like folded up back there, good lord. Now, I wouldn't really have an issue with that much. However, there are no ratchets for the forward and back motion of his hips, so he tends to just do this a lot. But everything else I like. The shaping is nice, the legs have a bit more heft to them than the design should have, but I like the chunk. The arms are like bang on show accurate. The shoulder pads are a little undersized, but the forearms are exactly the same shape as they should be. His chest has this like weird gap to it. Don't know why it's there. Like it's normal, like it's on the other figures. Ultra Magnus closes it up, but I don't know why the Primes just leave this little gap here. It might be for the LEDs, because the original red one had LEDs, but this one doesn't, so like I kind of wish they'd closed it up. He has no neck, which is strange. Like his head can't really rotate super well unless you force it. So, and the head is so close to like the rest of the body, there's no neck in there. I wish it sat a little bit higher up, makes him a little bit more limited in how dynamic you can make him look. The neck and the top of the shoulders though is very nicely sculpted with the pistons and the hinges. I just wish it wasn't that weird gray color. If they had dropped a touch of dark gray into the feet, thighs, neck, biceps, and hands, I think it would have looked less, well, cheap, I guess. The back of his legs is extremely hollow. It doesn't bug me that much, but I know it's going to bug others, so it is worth pointing out. You could fit like a whole pork pie in there, probably. There's a lot of space. But this being a liter-ish, it's not actually a liter, but it is the size of a liter, it does some cool things. The red version, like I said, had lights, and they were removed on this one, probably to include the giant sword without making the toy cost more. But pressing this button on his stomach makes these massive fuck-off guns just pop out of his back and spin. Like, that is such a cool gimmick, though every once in a while it does get stuck on the two tabs on the grill, so you have to move the grill back just a tiny bit. But this is such a nice little thing to do back and forth, and pulling the lever back down. It's so satisfying. It's also really fun to just watch them pop out, fold forward, and rotate, all in one smooth motion with like one gear. It's very cool.
So, the articulation is not great. He has joints, but he has like the bare minimum, so you can't really do that much. Like this guy, look, Ultra Magnus is coming with him. Get off. This guy has more than this dude. Also a quick little, there's Ultra Magnus. So his head, like I said, very strange. It rotates, right? But you're like, oh, it only rotates that far each way. No, it goes further, but you have to like click it in and out. Very weird. You can look up and down. Shoulders can rotate. Shoulder pads can move. They can go out that far. You have bicep rotation, elbow bend, wrist rotation, and then that's where the good articulation kind of just stops. Nothing at the waist because he does that. The hips can go forward. They can go back. These are not ratcheted, and I don't know why they are not ratcheted. Even on the original, they're not ratcheted. I have to watch MGo's video to figure out how to transform this thing, and his weren't ratcheted either. Then that's got a ratchet, but it's a pretty, like, not the strongest ratchet in the world. It takes no pressure to just, like, push it a bit, and out it comes. You have above the knee rotation. You have a really, really thin sounding ratchet in there that makes the knees bend a little bit more than 90 degrees. Like, it's like a touch more. Oh, I activated the gimmick. Oh, see, this is what I mean when the tabs, these side tabs get in the way of the gimmick going up, so you gotta move them out of the way. And then the toes can go down. Like, that's it. That's all he can do. And it's not great when, like, he does that a lot. Bro just really wants to play Limbo. It's insane. But, oh my goodness. Bruh. But, like, that's all he can do. It's kind of eh.
So the robot mode, it has its problems, but I still really like the way that it looks, especially the colors. Now, truck time.
So, my camera's crooked. So transforming this thing is not as complicated as one might think, because you think leader class Optimus Prime that turns into a long-nosed truck, and you think of this, which is I enjoy this, but this is complicated. This isn't. So to start with, we're going to open up the chest, all Matrix-like, and then shove the head in. Then we are going to take the legs, and I'm going to do those first because they're really easy. You just peg them together like so, and then fold up the feet, and then just sort of take the legs and bend them down. Now we want to work on all this stuff. So to start with, we're going to take the arms, bring them around, and they will peg into these things right here. They'll go into like a slot there, which mine had mold flash in it. I had to cut it out, but you just bring the arm in and get it in there. Do the same on the other side. Massive stress mark here, and I don't know why that is, but there is a massive stress mark there. So bring this around. Now I like to fold the hands flat to kind of hide them away. Now you have these two tabs underneath here that are going to go into two slots right there. And doing this can be a little bit of a pain to like see. So what I do is I sort of extend the arms out a bit and get them pegged in now, like this, and like that, and then shove the whole thing together. That kind of helps you guide the tabs into place. Then you take this windshield here and you fold it back, and it will plug in back here, just like that. The Ultra Magnus one has them stick out, and it kind of looks weird. Now the backpack. The backpack does something pretty satisfying. So you unclip it from the front, right? And we'll just get the grill out here now. Get it all squeezed together. Make sure everything is locked in place. You want to take this section. You want to make the camera focus on this section first. Then you bring this out, right? They do just peg in right there. Then you rotate these out and bring them up and clip them into place. And then this entire assembly just sort of slots over that. And then to seal it all up, you bring this around and it will clip into the sides. And that's it. That's your done. That's the truck. That's just so easy. I enjoy flipping this back and forth because it's really fun. I wish the legs were a little bit more involved. Like, I'll mention it later, but these kind of feel like they're supposed to fold in. Kind of wish they did fold in to make this entire section flat. Maybe have a panel that sort of covered up the hands or something. Ultra Magnus benefited from having this little slot here where his hammer went to be like a tank for his tanker truck. And that covered up the hands. But this doesn't have that. And it's a little unfortunate. Also, the fake windows are just kind of hanging out there. So if that does bug you, they are right there. So at least they're not like Magnus where they were just like this. That was how Magnus was, and it wasn't great. So I appreciate that they at least fold up and peg together. Though pegging them together can be a bit of a pain to do. There we go. Yeah, truck.
I love most of this truck mode, like most. The front is almost exactly how it is in the show. It's a little wider than the show model, but I'd still like it. The back, though, that's kind of ugly. Nothing changes here. The heels look like they were designed to fold away. There's like a circular section next to the top of them, so it looks like they would have folded and fit into this like gappy slot that's carved out, but it looks like they scrapped it, probably due to budget. But the rest of it is just the arms hanging out. You could cover up one of the hands with like the gun, but like I said, I don't have it. It is also a big truck though. Like, I love the size of it, and the gimmick still works, if a bit droopy. It comes out and just sort of hangs down a little bit. It's a touch weird. But the biggest issue I have with this thing is the feel of the 2012 plastic. It feels very thin and a bit flaky. Like, it's not terrible, but it is not the nicest feeling thing either. It just feels... The easiest way I can describe it is it feels cheap. If I paid more than 20 bucks for this, I don't think I would have got my money's worth, because it feels like a modern day Voyager. Not me saying modern Voyagers are bad, it's just that this is a leader type thing and it weighs about as much as something a lot smaller than it is. But it's bigger, it does gimmicky things, but it weighs nothing. But as a whole, for 20 bucks, like I said, I like it. I wouldn't recommend it, honestly. It's not that good unless you have an attachment to this toy, but I'm enjoying it and I'll be keeping it probably for a while. I think it's neat. It's also funny because it's green. If you can get it with the sword and the gun, then yeah, it's amazing. But it's that feel of the plastic, those lack of hip ratchets, and just the ugly nature of the back of both modes is really underwhelming in this toy. But that's my look at Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Green Optimus Prime. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.